Ron Bright says resist moving cameras live, especially over large distances. Switch to another scene, move the camera, and then come back to PTZ. And that is great advice.
It really is. That if you're going to be moving the camera live, then there's a couple of things that you can do. One is you might want to try auto tracking. And I'm happy to do an auto tracking demo only if someone in the chat says they want to see it.
Okay, let us know.
Because we know that we don't want to do it if we don't have to, because we don't have to. But if someone wants to see an auto tracking demo, we will do it. I think it's very smooth, the movement. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is the ability to set pan tilt limits, not just for auto tracking, but for all types of camera operation. So I'll give you an example. It's a pretty simple one. I'll give you two examples. One is if we have a lot of high schools and colleges that have basketball stadium courts, and the movement in basketball is fast. You're going back and forth and back and forth. And I really tried hard to spread the word about pan tilt limits in scenarios like this, because it's if you're moving that fast back and forth, it's very easy to overshoot. And you never really need the camera to be off court, most likely. So if you set a pan tilt limit to the left and right, you can pull that camera as fast as you need to, and it will stop right at the limit. That's also, for example, too, that's the same thing you can do if you are someone on stage and you're tracking someone on stage. Also, a lot of times you don't need to go up very high. So I always suggest setting a tilt limit. You don't need to see the ceiling. You don't need to see above most people's heads in a lot of scenarios. So you can set a tilt limit at the top there. And those limits allow you to have a little bit more freedom and a little bit more confidence as you're panning and tilting around those spaces.
Yeah, I could see that perfectly for a church, right? There's a lot of spaces you might not want to show. Maybe you don't even want to show the congregation or the audience. And you could easily set those limits so you know exactly where to stop that camera movement. So it works really for anyone out there who wants to, set certain guidelines on exactly what your camera can see and what it can't.